Travis Hunter handling all the information, taking it from classroom to field?
Yeah, I mean, I think so far so good. I mean, he had a couple missed assignments today that, he knew right away. He came off the grass and took accountability for him. The one thing you notice is a guy that hasn't played a ton of football or, been out conditioning maybe for the last 2 months because he was on a little bit of a tour. The guy can run forever. I mean, he just kind of goes, runs a route, runs back, runs. I mean, you could tell he's in football shape, and he was, he's done a nice job. Edgar Barrett, the coaches, Ron Milas, those guys have done a great job of meeting with him when they've had time to do so, and Travis has worked hard at getting this stuff right.
The Jacksonville Jaguars OTA sessions are officially in the books, and man, were they fun. Trevor Lawrence and Travis Hunter, the connection that those guys are already starting to build looks legendary, looks a little bit generational. Now, obviously, as a number 2 overall draft pick in one of the most quote-unquote generational prospects we have ever seen in the NFL draft, a two-way player that can play not only wide receiver but DB as well. The expectations were sky high. But so far, during OTA practices and rookie minicamp, Travis Hunter has actually exceeded expectations. According to Liam Cohen in the front office, this first impression that he gave to this football team might be one of the greatest players that the Jaguars have ever seen in this franchise's history. Now, we actually had a direct quote from one of the front office members of this Jaguars team saying, quote unquote, he is a supreme athlete with amazing body control. But I think my favorite thing that I've seen, and we believed this when we drafted him, is the type of human being he is. The competitive nature, the desire to be great as an individual, but to also be a good teammate. Now, listen, as a second overall pick, a guy who won the Heisman is going to play both ways. And he doesn't separate himself from the rest of the rookies of this draft class. Doing it right is really important to him. He's not coming in here thinking he's better than everybody else. He came into rookie minicamp with a chip on his shoulder and an opportunity to prove himself on the football field. And that love for the game of football is something that stood out to all of the coaches, to all of the media members, and to all of his teammates. He's also a joy to be around. The personality that he brings to this football team was everything not only Liam Cohen, but again, the front office expected and more. Now, obviously, me personally, I'm excited to see how he fits into the team on day one. But we've already seen him and Trevor Lawrence build a rapport, a connection, a chemistry so far. Now, obviously, for Travis Hunter, the first real taste of action will come during that first preseason football game on, I believe, August 9th versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. I believe they also have a couple of joint practices set as well. So that's going to be really fun. I think he will have a regular season debut versus former Colorado teammate wide receiver Jimmy Horn in the Carolina Panthers. That might be fun to see as well. But overall, Travis Hunter looks really good thus far. I know it's very, very early, but I'm going to stop talking about him for now and get into a little bit of Trevor Lawrence. Now, Trevor Lawrence is in a make-or-break type of season for his NFL career. You see him warming up here during one of the OTA practices, but the one thing that you can tell right away is the weapons he has never been better. Not only do you have Brian Thomas Jr., a first-round pick out of LSU last season, and has proven to be one of the best wide receivers, up-and-coming wide receivers in football, but now you have another one in Travis Hunter. I mean, this guy is an athletic freak of nature, can run every single route that you want him to run, has great route running capabilities, but also has the stamina to just never come off the football field, which is a quarterback's dream. You also add De'Ami Brown as a wide receiver coming over from Washington. I think he's going to be a big-time addition to this football team. From there, you have Parker Washington. And then it gets a little bit dicey with Joshua Cephas and Austin Trammell and David White Jr., Louis Rees-Zammit, who spent last year with, I believe, San Francisco and Kansas City. You got Eli Pancol. You got J.J. Jones and Dorian Singer, Cam Camper. Some interesting guys there, to say the very least. But also, you have a new starting tight end this year in Brenton Strange that the team is really high on. They lose or get rid of Evan Ingram. He goes to Denver. And then from there, you bring in Hunter Long, you bring in Quinton Morris, you bring in Johnny Munt. They've done a great job. They've done a really good job. They reunite Robert Hainsey over here in Jacksonville from Tampa Bay with Liam Cohen. I think that's going to be huge for this offensive line going into the season. Now, before we head any more into this Jacksonville Jaguars camp, do me a big time favor, guys. Hit the like button if you want more Jaguars videos throughout the entirety of not only OTAs, which resume next week, but also mandatory mini camp. Training camp is coming up. It's right around the corner, right? It's a couple months away. We got you guys covered every single practice. As long as you guys want to see them, comment down below P2. But lastly, and probably most importantly, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel if you are new. It is free. It doesn't cost anything. And we will be covering this Jaguars team throughout the entirety of this year's offseason and preseason, regular season as well. Make sure you guys join the family. Like I was saying, right? You have Walker Little at left tackle. You have Ezra Cleveland at left guard. You sign Fred Johnson from Philadelphia. You sign Chuma Adoga from Dallas. You bring in Robert Hainsey from Tampa Bay, who is already with Liam Cohen. You bring in a day one starting right guard and Patrick McCarry from Baltimore. You draft Wyatt Milum in the 3rd round this year. I mean, the depth that they have on the offensive line is huge. Anton Harrison at right tackle. That's going to be huge for this football team for next season, right? Having that depth, having guys that can come in and compete every single day. Again, we don't really need to talk too much about, the quarterbacks, because we know Trevor Lawrence is already building that chemistry with these wide receivers, but the running back room looks extremely deep, man. You have Travis Etienne, right? We know how good he is and how good he can be. You look at Tank Bigsby, right? He's a kind of change of pace guy who's more of a downhill runner, wants to run through you, welcomes contact. And then you got Tuin. You draft Tuin in the 4th round. You draft LaQuint Allen Jr. in the 7th round. These guys can add just a different type of mindset and asset to this football team. Now right here, you see Brian Thomas, you see Travis Hunter, you see De'Ami Brown. These are the 3 guys that I believe will be the day one starters. You got 2 really good route runners in Travis and Brian Thomas. And then you got De'Ami Brown, who's an absolute burner down the football field. I think Trevor Lawrence is in for a really good season this year, and don't be surprised if this team wins and maybe even wins the division over the Texans. You just never know, man. Defensively, I think they're in a good spot as well. You add Eric Murray as a safety. You draft Caleb Branshaw in the 3rd round. You still have Darnell Savage and Tyson Campbell and Jarrian Jones. Obviously, Travis Hunter will probably play some DB here or there for the football team. Maybe even every play. Who knows, right? And then you bring in Jordan Lewis from Dallas as well. So I do think that the DB room, the cornerback room, could be a little bit better. If you throw in Travis Hunter as a day one starter and a full-time starter, then I think this DB room is a lot better than a lot of people think. Linebackers, Devin Lloyd and, Fasade Alukan. Behind them, you had Jack Kaiser in the 4th round and Jalen McLeod, who I think is more of an edge rusher. If I had to predict, but we'll see. Maybe he's more of an off-ball for them if they can develop him in that direction. But overall, guys, you need to be excited about this football team. Trayvon Walker, Devon Hamilton, Mason Smith, Josh Hines-Allen. You sign Emmanuel Ogba. You have Eric Armstead, Miles Cole. I'm excited. So let me know what you guys think about Trevor Lawrence. Do you think this chemistry is going to build between him and Trevor Lawrence, or him and Travis Hunter? And do you think this team is going to be a lot better than what a lot of people think? Let me know, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.